All right, what's going on, people? My name's KLS. Welcome back to the Trimless FC YouTube channel. We've come clean straight off a 2-2 draw against Burnley. So I thought we'd just chop up, let you know some of my opinions, and let's dissect into the game. Obviously, we had a few faces appear onto the pitch that I'd like to talk about. Maybe they're harsh, maybe it's not, but in my humble abode, I'm not really that bothered for opinions. So let's walk through it. Absolute boring game. Absolute boring game. It was shit. Unfortunately, it was shit. Like, you can't convince me we were shit. I mean, we're gonna go through the lineup real quick, and I'm just gonna see if so here we are. So we've equally drew to a team that played the same formation as Amram did. So obviously that's a great argument in itself. Obviously Lamens and net. Lamens was kind of solid. To an extent. I mean, he's letting 2 goals again. Dalot was bang average. Dalot, you can't convince me. Trimless, if you're watching, you need to stop saying Dalot's not that bad, because defensively he's awful. Going forward, he's awful. I don't know what more. I don't know if there's any more this guy can't do. Like, it's just not biblical. Evans got an own goal, but I'm not going to slate him too much because I think he was solid defensively. Loretta Martinez, again, just kind of there. Luke Shaw, again, useless as a plum in a fat guy's belly. Casemiro, again, like, he's dropped off this game, in my opinion. I think he's been good or bad match with the manager. It was bad. It was really bad. Extremely bad. It was awful. Wait, let me just for content-wise, I'll just put it on the screen. Casemiro, yeah, I mean, you can see the drop-off already straight away. He wasn't his normal self. Ugarte wasn't too bad. Dorgu confused me because he was playing on the left quite a lot when it was meant to be on the right. Fernandez, it was just kind of there. Cunha was one of the worst players on the pitch. Sesko bagged 2 goals, so we can applaud him for 2 goals, 100%. Obviously, it really deflects when we've conceded 2 against relegation fodder. So now a question. Oh wait, no, I've not finished yet. Mount came on, did nothing. Xerxes came on, got involved. However you want to take that, got involved. Lenny Yoro came on, solid, rate him. Kobe Mainu came on, and I noticed him a bit more this game. Obviously, there was a couple of shots where he's absolutely skied it. But obviously, man, you've probably watched it for yourselves. Like, I mean, you've got to be doing better. Shea Lacey came on. Now, Shea Lacey, this is a tricky one for me because he's come on and he's took that shot immediately and he's hit crossbar. So from one aspect, you kind of sit and think, mad, this guy's actually a baller. His second touch of the game, smashed it from corner of the box, and it's hit crossbar. And you almost want to go, there's some hope for these YGs. When these YGs come on, like Fun says a couple streams back, they're running around like headless chickens. Thank God we didn't see a Fletcher. Thank God we didn't see a Maguire. The only thing I can take away from Shea Lacey is, what I don't understand is, he's come on, he's hit crossbar, and that's all well being done and said. We're in the 94th minute of +5 added time, and he's absolutely lathered it from outside the box, Shea Lacey. Now, whether you could take that away and potentially, I've misspelled something. Mad. Yeah, whether you could take that away and just say, like, look, he's young and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, all right then. But then, like, you then can't sit with chest and say Amram out when you've not given him the opportunity to buy the players that he needs to actually make the team work, and not bollock Shea Lacey for in the 94th minute of +5 added time. He's absolutely lathered the ball over the box. Outside the box, over the net. So with Shea Lacey, I'm impressed, but whether it's lack of professionality, whether it's lack of like in-game knowledge, whether it's a lack of playing for a big team or lack of experience playing for a big team, my boy, you can't be lathering at 94th minute of +5 added time and it's gone over the box. I'm not here to shit on you, why, bro. I liked him. The first shot I hit the crossbar, woo, man, them. I'm surprised. But you've lathered it in the 94th minute +5 and it's gone over the box. I mean, if you think people aren't going to talk about it, you can't be more wrong. Because and on that note, for Mainu, I think Mainu came on and this has been his best game that he's came on for. But again, Mainu, all this, big up AFC 80, AFC 87, always big up them, man, there. But in the same breath, the whole point of one of the reasons you're screaming, I can't even speak. One of the reasons you're screaming Amram out is because he's not starting Kobe Mainu, and then we get a new manager and he's still not starting him. So now what? Is it going to be Fletcher out? Because in my opinion, get Ollie in. That was an absolute snooze fest for the players we've got. We've got Cunha, who's exciting. Xerxes he can show up. It doesn't happen often, but he can. 100% he can. I mean, look, we'll talk about Benjamin Sesko real quick. 2 goals, same goal contributions as Big Yuck. Now, for people that watch at home, obviously you might not understand the rivalry, but Arsenal fans grill Sesko, and then they talk about Gokeres being at the top of the table. So initially, you're comparing a player to a team. That's as far as that conversation goes. But man, them, look, we've got to be pleased. And I'm so gutted. I said it to RB midstream. I damn nearly said, maybe this is where Sesko shines. And I didn't want to say it, yeah, because he's done fuck all season. I didn't want to say it because if it don't happen, that's getting clipped and I'm getting clowned. My man's gonna bag 2 goals. My boy, you've listened to me. It's all right getting in positions and taking shots, but scoring, on the other hand, is a bit more important. And he's absolutely done it. Now, what has frustrated me to a whole nother level is Burnley didn't even play that well. Burnley didn't even play like there was a threat to play against. Burnley didn't play like a threat. Burnley wasn't that attacking. There wasn't even that good defensively. Midfield-wise, that was okay. So why we're drawing 2-2 is beyond me. So I want Amran out because we're not racking up points. We've come back with a new manager and we've still got 1 point. So this whole time where I've been saying, but it's the actual players. All I've heard is the lot ain't that bad. Luke Shaw's not that bad. Are you watching these games? I don't understand. These are really bad footballers, unfortunately. Like, was the lot even that good in his whole career? Was he that good? But was he even that good for it to even be an argument that he's good? But I just don't remember a time period. At a point, I can 100,000,000% say, yeah, I do think he's a tad bit underrated still. Because I felt at one point he wasn't getting flowers at all. Whereas now you're watching him and you think, well, I mean, we've got a new manager and you're still kind of doing the same thing. And the same with Luke Shaw. I mean, the fact we didn't play Dorgu left back and take Shaw off and maybe play Xerxes Cam, did it that way, it's beyond me. One thing I do want to pick up on is why was every substitution a midfielder? I know you can argue, but Shea Lacey is a winger. Played at Cam. Took Fernandez off for Mount. In fact, he took Ugarte off for Shea Lacey. So wherever Shea Lacey was playing, I couldn't tell you. Absolute boring snooze fest. Absolutely boring. And again, we've let in 2 goals. But from what I don't remember, even now, I've only just finished watching the game. I don't remember a time period where there was attacking to the point where we could concede a goal. Never. So why has it happened again? Amram out because we're not picking up points. Well, congratulations. And do you know what? You can throw out, but stability-wise was not that great. So you can't even throw, but we were better stability-wise. No, we wasn't. Unfortunately, I know you really want it to, but that's not the case. Unfortunately, it's not the case. But the second half we picked up, what would he do? So you reversed Amorim, because Amorim played well first half every game, and then everything else. The amount of points Man you have dropped, you could have easily been 10 points clear off than you are, plus third. 100 million%. 100 million%. But again, like my argument for getting Amorim out is we're not even letting him. We're not even giving him the chance. We've not made him let the signings he made. We've not let him, like, we all know how tapped the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are, and especially after these past, 48 hours, we can see they're all massive bullshitters. They've appointed a 3 at the back man. We're not getting into Amorim. Yeah, and they, but we want Amorim out because we're not picking up points. There you go. Another draw against relegation. And you're still going to argue it's not the team? Are we still going to argue it's not the team? Because if anything, I think Amorim's 3 at the back had more stability than what I just watched. My man, the players were everywhere. Sporting director should not be telling your manager about tactics 100 million%. 100 million%. We're owned. Do you know what it is? We're owned by people that don't know the tactic of 4-4-2. That's the real issue. We've got Jim Ratcliffe, that's a lifelong Man United fan, but for some odd reason, he's not made one correct signing. He's not made one correct decision about Manchester United. The Glazers, they don't even put money into the team. So why they didn't even make money off us? Because Man United, as a football team, only can spend what we generate throughout the season. So, I mean, there's that. But I don't even think people that sit and say Amorim out, they don't even deep it to that level. They don't. They really don't. And I think they just say Amorim out. It's whether to be different or you Amorim out because it's the most simplest opinion you can have. So you don't have to use too much brain thought. I'm telling you. Back onto the game, though. I mean, your guy looked decent, yeah. Casemiro fell off. So, I mean, could that now be an issue where our DMs are because we're going to need DMs. We're going to need DMs. We should go 4 at the back because 4 at the back's more defensive. We're letting 2 goals against Burnley. 2 goals against Burnley. We can't be... The sooner Mandem realise we can't be defensively better until we've got rid of Luke Shaw and Dalot. The day the Mandem can understand this, the better off we will be. The second people stop just blaming the manager because it's the easiest route. I'm so convinced you scream Amorim out because it's the easiest opinion you can have. Vegan Sharks drawing 3 games in 7 days. I don't know what this means. Vegan Sharks drawing 3 games in 7 days. Vegan Sharks. I don't know what that means. You have to elaborate on that one. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm just slow. Vegan Sharks. What's Vegan Sharks drawing 3 games? Or have we drawn 3 games in 7 days? Fucking hell. You man got a Liverpool tomorrow, innit? 8 p.m. Vegan Sharks. Man City, I'm on about. Oh my god, yeah, Man City. See, it's peak. That they can't be drawing games. Not this dark. Not this late in. Not this late in. Because that'll be what they kill him. And by managerless Chelsea as well. I mean, for God's sake, let's get real. So yeah, no. Shout out City, man. I hope they come back and ruin your dreams. No, I'm only messing. No, I want Arsenal to win. Back onto the game. Another issue I have is, again, they're gonna say we're more stabilized. We wasn't. We really wasn't. We was running around. Like honestly, watching that game, what looked like we was watching players just playing football. Like there was no tactic. There was at a push. You could even argue. I don't even think there was a formation. I'm not saying we played bad because we didn't play that bad. We played bad. We didn't play that bad. But now, does that now turn around and Amorim's not getting us points? Or is it the players? Because again, we've now, struggled against Burnley. Drew against Leeds. Drew against Bournemouth. Drew against West Ham. Drew against Wolves. So is the common theme... Now, what's the common denominator here? Players. The only thing that hasn't changed is the players, and it's still happening. So what actually was the real issue? RB said it perfectly. Dalot's playing like you don't care again. But then, again, to raise a better argument, was Dalot even that good back in the day? Is he even good enough to be talking about now? Of like, he's actually decent. I don't think he ever has been. I think he's been an okay defender at right back. But even that defensively, I mean, there were so many chances that game. The first goal by Burnley, why ever Dalot wasn't tracking him then, I couldn't tell you. Because that's his job. Aidan Heaven shouldn't have to push out that forward from centre-back on the edge of the box, because that's Diego Dalot's job. That's what you're there for. It's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable to be drawing 2-2 against Burnley after the actual problems left. Absolutely unacceptable. Which will then go on to another point. Cunha. If Amrin didn't make Cunha work, he definitely looked worse now. So what if getting rid of Amrin's made him worse? Just like Casemiro. Or better yet, what if Luke Shaw gets worse? Or Dalot gets worse? What if our defenders now get worse? But sacking Amrin was the correct thing to do. Man, complete buffoonery. I can't believe how slow it was moving forward. I can't believe how unethically slow it was running back. Like, it's not biblical. That shouldn't be happening at Manchester United. We shouldn't be slow going forward and slow coming back. So for whatever reason, for why we was all stood in the middle of the pitch, where, again, the first goal was all Dalot's fault. And but that's dead harsh. Aidan Evans shouldn't be having to push that forward at a centre-back to be on the edge of his box. That is Dalot's job as a right back, to be on the right side of the pitch. And where was he? Where was he? That shouldn't have even gone in. I'm not even going to go too harsh on Evan, because that's not his fault. That is not his job to be there. So then what actually has improved? So we've got rid of the main problem, apparently. So now what's the problem? Now what's the issue? Now what actually is the game plan? Because we're running around again like headless chickens. I don't think there was a tactic the entire game. 2-2 against Burnley. Bro, go suck something deeper than your mother. I swear on my life, go suck something deeper than your mother. One absolute buffoonery. What absolute woeful display of a football team. What a disgrace to this absolute great team. And now what's made it worse is now, I can't believe I'm saying it, the fans are worse. Maybe not worse, but they're on the same level as the Glazers, because they're not helping, because the real problem's out. The problem's still here. So now what? We're still moving slower. Again, I'll rephrase. Get back to a 4 at the back. We've gone back to a 4 at the back and we're slower. Play Bruno Cam. Bruno play Cam. He just came back off injury. I'm not hearing it. Bruno Fernandes is the best player on the whole team. Whether he's come back off injury or not, you still should be able to notice him. He's that well of a footballer. Coming back off injury or not, you should be noticing him. But Amram's the real issue. Is he? Because the issues are still here. We're still slow. We still don't know what to do. So I go back to the point. You know, if you just took actual time and invested time into actually trying to figure out what the actual issue is at Manchester United, Amram wouldn't have lost his job. What was the difference between Amram managing today and Fletcher managing today? Nothing. Slow. Didn't have a clue. Players. So you've confused the whole team for what? Just so you could say, but I predicted that a couple of months back. Oh, grow up, man, damn. Again, sock something deeper than your mother. Absolute buffoonery. If anyone sat watching and your friend's a United fan and he says we played well, he's a lion. He's a lying little bastard. No way we played well. Cunha was invisible. There's an argument. Ugarte played better than Cunha. I mean, Fernandes should have been pocketing that for days. That shot he hit the post. Xerxes came on and he looked better than Cunha. Xerxes came on and looked like he was doing better than Fernandes. So what actually is going on, Mandem? I think it's a lot deeper than your simple brains can understand. I really do. On that note, we're going to move forward and talk about where do we think this is going to go? I don't think we're going to go nowhere. Again, like I've previously said, if you've sacked Amrin because you're wanting more points, you can say goodbye to European football. You can say goodbye to 3 points every week. You can. And lo and behold, there's your proof. There is proof right there. You want to sack Amrin because he's not getting points? Well, your proof's right there. Withdrew to Burnley. So again, I go back to, what was the difference between having Amrin this game and Fletcher this game? I'm not seeing a difference. I mean, if anything, you could argue Fletcher played worse. But we scored 2, and Sesko finally bagged. Whoop-ty-fuck. Whoop-ty-fuck. Look, Sesko's eventually going to bag. He's a prominent striker. He on his day when he wants to be, he's absolutely amazing. Now, if you want to sacrifice Sesko having a good game for the decline of Cunha, Fernandes, I mean, even at a push, Casemiro, I mean, obviously the left back's not great. Then that's fine. That's fine. But I don't want to see you on Twitter or social media giving Man United shit when you're equally the problem for spouting the wrong bollocks. No way, shape or form. I think the United fans that have complained about managerial, like we didn't even give Amrin a full season. And that's our fan base. Again, we've played slower. So, I will repeat one last time. If you have a friend that's a Manchester United fan and he tells you, but we played decent today, they're lying. They're lying. Ineos adding... Ineos was adding petrol to the fire. Bro, the fire's been out for years. And I tell you what, as well, on top of that, why people on outside Old Trafford with fire and riot crowds, I don't know. Because this issue's a lot deeper than what people think it is. It's a lot deeper. And it's one of those ones, people can't even say, but KLS, man, you're deep in it too much. Then why do you complain every weekend? If we've just drew against Leeds and we've just drew against Burnley and you're complaining about it, chill out, man, it's not that deep. Of course it's deep. We want European football, and we're not gonna when we sack managers for speaking the truth. Again, I've said this twice now on 4 different streams. It is like sending someone to Morrison's to go get a cake, them going to Morrison's not having any cake, coming back, then bollocking them because Morrison's didn't have any cake. It's not their fault they didn't have it. So now, on that argument of, was Amrin actually the issue? Was he? Because, again, I don't see a difference. If anything, we've got slower. We've got worse. We've got productively worse. And productively is the key word. Because what actually did we produce this game? Dorgu keeps making crosses that can't leave the floor. Fernandes still can't finish. When was the last time Fernandes scored a belter? When was the last time Fernandes scored other than a penalty? When was the last time Fernandes... I said this to my friend. I'm getting sick of Fernandes just shooting it. Man, oh my days. And will we just stop booting it up the pitch? Will we please stop booting it up the pitch and just hoping and praying? How many times that game, the ball's just been lathered up. The ball's just been lathered. And on that note, fucking Burnley, in the 93rd minute, they were actually playing for a draw. I don't know if Mandem watched the game. They're on the corner flag like Newcastle against Liverpool in the FA Cup final or the Cowbell Cup final, whatever lousy cup it was. They was actively playing for a draw. I don't understand. And even then, and what worries me now is, people, Man United fans, because I can predict them, because they're simple-minded and I can predict them like piss, they're going to sit and go, it's all right, though. We're going to get Ollie back. We're going to bring back a manager that was already sacked from the job for doing a bad job. A manager that played the fastest play of Man United in a tactical board into a team that's already struggling, into a team. And remember what I've just said. Ollie played the fastest football from Man United in the past 10 years since Alex Ferguson's been there. Anyone who's quick in Man United? Anyone who's quick in Man United? Because Mbeumo's not that quick. He's not lightning. Not like when we had Rashford and Mason Greenwood. Not that sort of lightning. Not even when we had Martial. So who actually is quick in Man United? No one. So Ollie's going to come back and he's going to want to replicate that sort of form. How can we go fast-paced with no fast players? That's like wanting to go fast in a Toyota Yaris. Man, then come on. Come on. Let's stop talking for the sake of talking and getting people fired when they don't need to be. Let's be honest. So, Mandem, I'm absolutely clueless. I don't know moving forward how we are going to move forward. Shout out Hyper Protagonist. He said, Benjamin Tesco is the white Usain Bolt. Bro, 2 goals today, man. I've got to rate it. I've got to rate it. I've got to. And again, maybe I am being too harsh. Maybe I am being too harsh on Fletcher. But I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Mandem, we did. That was not a display where I'm going to sit and think, yeah, that's our future. Yeah, can Mandem actually watch that game and think, yeah, we're getting European football? Because I don't. To sack a manager for not getting points and then get a new manager who still doesn't get points. To then even get another manager that won't get points because his style of play won't match the players we've got. Which, again, is another issue. So, again, like I've said, thank you for popping in, Hyper Protagonist. So, again, let's raise this argument. I did this the day Amrim got sacked on the where it was just me chatting about Amrim being sacked. And I said this. And now we can add more fuel to the fire. Amorim outers. I don't like the formation Amorim plays. The next favourite to become Manchester United manager, Oliver Glasner. What do they have in common? 3 at the back. Ruben Amorim. But Amorim does shit because he's not got the players to use the team, so the formation won't work. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't have the players that's going to make what he wants to do as a tactic work. So then what? So between these two, what actually is the difference? We can deep it. Ruben Amorim goes forward at the back and we play slow. Darren Fletcher comes in and we just forward at the back and we're even slower. Are you noticing? Everything we're now looking for a manager is all in Ruben Amorim. So what was the point of sacking him? And further that, what's the point in sacking him? What now? We've played 6 months of this tactic. We've played a summer with this tactic. The players are going to come back. And never mind the players have already got. We've got Mbeumo to come back. We've got Amad Diallo to come back. We've got Mazarawa to come back. That are going to be absolutely head-fucked because they've just been playing in Africa in the AFCON. They're now going to come back to a whole different layer of football and you're going to expect them to perform. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Mid-season. So then another thing Amrin Outers I want. We need a midfielder. We're going to spend the rest of the January looking for a new manager. So you can already scrap that out the window. I'm telling you, what you're crying about, you've actively made it worse. Because 1, we're slower. 2, the players still don't fit the formation. 3, all the managers you want to bring in or would like to bring in still don't match the style of play our Manchester United players have. Imagine, and this is only an example, imagine Xerxes, Luke Shaw, Ugarte, Dalot, Fernandez in a fast-paced tactic. None of them are quick. So how's that going to work? Oliver Glasner might be the favourite. Play the same formation the manager you've just got out played. Darren Fletcher. Yeah, man, I'd rather have Darren Fletcher for this game. Would you? Because I don't see the difference. Man, I'm losing, man, not. I'm just not happy. I just don't feel... In my opinion, I'm looking at this Amrin sacking as we've got rid of something that didn't need to be changed. Because the real issue is the higher-ups. The real issue is over there. Nick Alvarado, Jeff Wilcox, the Glazers, Jim Radcliffe, Ineos. And the fact, Man United fans, if any Man United fans are watching, if you genuinely have hope, or if a new manager comes in and you get excited, what a waste of time. Because no doubt they're going to kiss the arse of Ineos. So then that'll be another couple of years of probably no transfers or any decent transfers. Let's be honest, because they don't like spending money. But then they want European football. Spot on. We're then going to get a new manager, and then every week it's going to be, I hope he don't say anything too ballsy in this press conference, otherwise he's going to get sacked. We're going to have that every weekend. So what actually is the plan? Man, I've been your boy KLS. I'm going to scoot off. I've been sat here for the best part of nearly 3 hours. Look, boys, it wasn't a great display. Do I see it getting better? Do I fuck? Absolutely do I fuck. Can we all grow up and realise it is the players? Again, what Ugarte is going to get us European football. Luke Shaw's going to get us European football. Diego Dalot's going to get us European football. Xerxes is going to get us European football. I don't think so. But it's the manager, right? Brilliant. I've been your boy, KLS. The next game's on the 17th of January. We play Manchester City. Which is also, by the way, before we leave, what a great time to sack a manager. What an absolute great time to sack a manager. We played Burnley. Yeah, we don't need him for Burnley. Let me just double check. Because we either play Arsenal or Liverpool after the... Oh, that's interesting. We play Brighton in the FA Cup. So we'll see the difference between the 4-2 win against Brighton with Amorim and the game going in with Fletcher on the 11th of January. I won't be streaming that because I'm not bothered about the FA Cup. Respectfully, I'm not a child. Yeah, great. So we sacked a manager. A single game before playing Manchester City. Then the game after is Arsenal. And this is one of the best fan bases in the world. Get a job. I've been your boy, KLS. I'll see you next Tuesday for the Project Prem on 9 p.m. Hopefully, Trimless should be back by then. And if not, man, then look, we're going to keep it vibes. I'm not going to let it ruin the night. Everyone can leave a like. Everyone can subscribe. Everyone leave a comment. Help a small channel like us out. But until then, man, I've been your boy. Have a blessed week.